Classic soul fans, you've probably seen the name Will Hart and Greg Hill pop up on social media. Let's dive deeper into the truth behind the Wilbert Hart-Greg Hill beef that has Delphonic fans talking. There's a lot more to the story than meets the eye. Let's begin with Wilbert Hart, one of the original members and founders of a Grammy Award-winning group called the Delphonics. There were three members: Wilbert Hart, his brother William Poogie Hart, and Randy Kane. Wilbert was the baritone singer and main choreographer for the group, and his voice was heard on all the hit records like La La Means I Love You, Didn't I Blow Your Mind, and several more hit recordings. Wilbert also wrote and sang lead on the song Hey Love, a Delphonics classic. Then there's Greg Hill from New York. He's also a producer, singer, and songwriter that was signed to Esquire Capitol Records in the late 90s with a new Jack Swing era group called The Concept. The group's first single, called Homegirl, which Greg co-produced, charted in Billboard and gained moderate success on the East Coast. After several years due to issues with their record label, The Concept disbanded. That's when Wilbert Hart came into the picture. A mutual friend of the two thought it would be a great idea to introduce Greg to Wilbert Hart. At the time, Wilbert was working on a new album and was searching for some new ideas for his new CD. When the two met, they got along great. So great that Wilbert decided to offer Greg a position in his group. Soon after, Greg replaced Salam Love in Wilbert's Delphonics, and first tenor Eben Brown left Wilbert's group to tour with the Stylistics. Soon after Eben's departure, Wilbert hired Van Fields to sing with the group, but after a brief stay, Van also left to tour with the Stylistics. That's when Greg brought singer Joe Branch to audition for Wilbert. Will was happy with Joe's voice but felt that he was too short and didn't fit Wilbert's vision for his group, but Greg convinced him to give Joe a chance. Ultimately, he was a great fit. The trio hit the road, and things seemed to be great. They appeared on a PBS special and released a CD entitled Phonic Zone. The group also recorded a single with platinum rap artist Rick Ross called Here For You, distributed by Universal. But after many years of touring, problems began to surface within the group. This was primarily due to legal issues between Wilbert Hart and his brother William over the Delphonics trademark. With the two brothers fighting over the Delphonics naming rights, the concerts and touring began to slow down for Wilbert's group. Things grew worse when Greg Hill offered to help Wilbert rebrand and promote the group. Will allegedly told Greg, "You don't know anything about this business. You work for me, so stay in your place." Greg grew increasingly unhappy and decided to leave because he claimed Wilbert was not managing the group properly. Greg and Randy Kane, another original member of the Delphonics, were having conversations on creating a new group and was planning to begin rehearsals. But unfortunately, Randy Kane passed away unexpectedly on April 9, 2009, so Greg decided to tour with his own tribute show. Greg wanted Joe to leave Wilbert's group with him, but Joe Branch decided to stay with Wilbert's group, and Salam Love returned in Greg's place. Meanwhile, Wilbert took to social media claiming he fired Greg, claiming, among other things, that Greg was a thief. Quote, "He stole from me, so I had to fire him." A claim which has never been proven till this day. When asked about Wilbert's accusation, Greg laughed and replied, "How can you fire someone if you don't have any work? It would sound more believable if he said he laid me off." In 2024, lead singer Joe Branch decided to leave Wilbert Hart's group also because, quote, "I left for the same reasons Greg left the group. Will lied to me, and he's not a man of his word. Greg was right about him. I can't do this anymore." Not long after Joe Branch left Wilbert's group, sadly, Dr. Salam Love passed away in 2024. So currently, Wilbert Hart, the last living member of the original Delphonics, continues to perform periodically with his new group as Will Hart, formerly of the Delphonics, due to legal issues. And as for Greg Hill, since leaving Wilbert's group, has been touring for over 20 years with his own tribute show, now called the Blow Your Mind Experience featuring Greg Hill. Still performing the greatest hits of the Delphonics, Greg is also planning to release a tell-all book in the near future. And where is Joe Branch, former lead singer for Will Hart's group? He's been spotted touring with Greg Hill's Blow Your Mind Experience. So after many years of legal battles, accusations, and heated phone conversations between Wilbert Hart and Greg Hill, will the beef between Wilbert Hart and Greg Hill continue? What do you think? Let us know in the comments.